Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Nina. I'm a life transformation coach, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about criticism, or more specifically, how to more graciously receive criticism. Because let's face it, nobody likes to be criticized. It can make us feel really, really defensive and really bad about ourselves in a lot of cases. It can make us feel sad, it can make us feel angry, it can make us really question the relationship we have with the person that is giving the criticism. But today I want to kind of offer you some tools that may make it a little more bearable to receive criticism, and also hopefully let you see what the benefits can be if we are able to actively listen to that criticism. So the first thing that we need to do when we are criticized is to consider the source. So in other words, is this criticism coming from someone that has our best interest at heart? Is this coming really from a place of love? And it doesn't mean that we have to know the person really well. It just means, are they genuinely trying to benefit us? Are they trying to help us out in some way? Or is this criticism coming from someone that is trying to harm us or put us down in some way? Is this coming from a person that really does not have our best interest at heart? So once we make that determination, and if the determination ultimately is that it's coming from a person that certainly does not have our best interest at heart, they just want to make us feel bad about ourselves, or they want to make us look bad in some way, we can not only disregard the criticism to begin with, we can really consider that relationship to be toxic, because certainly that's not how people should deal with one another. And in those circumstances, I'm going to go ahead and refer you to a video that I made about toxic relationships and toxic people, and that's going to give a lot of insight on how to deal with those specific situations, because in those situations the criticism has way more to do with that person than about you. So I will link that down in the description box so you have that resource. But today I wanted to talk more about when the criticism is coming from a good place, when it is someone that does have your best interest at heart. And in these situations, we need to think about it a lot differently, because here there could be potentially some very valuable information if we are willing to listen. And a lot of times we certainly are not, because we get very, very defensive. The first thing that we do is either just explain excessively how the way we did, whatever it is we did was really right because of this and that, and how if they knew all that you knew, they would be making the same decision that you were, or they would have done it the same way. So we get really, really defensive. Or we start to really criticize them, maybe not to their face, but we think of all the different things we could criticize them about, which in our mind kind of invalidates their ability to criticize you, because we are ultimately saying that, they are in no place to criticize you when when they are doing so many things wrong themselves. So if we are able to instead push our ego aside, we can actually actively listen to what they have to say. As difficult as it may be, we can really listen to what they have to say, because somewhere in there could be something that can truly benefit our life. Now, that is not always the case. Everybody is different. We have different personalities, different points of views, different, genetics, different life experiences. So we view the world through completely different lenses. So what they, have to say could be very valid to them, but not very beneficial to us. Or because of their unique perspective, they could be really showing us something that we may have missed, or maybe they are more knowledgeable in an area. And again, if we're able to kind of push our ego aside, we may benefit from that knowledge. So that is definitely something to consider. Also, not only should we actively listen to what they have to say if it's coming from a place of love, we want to thank them for doing so, because we know when we're in the position when we have to offer critique to someone, or criticism, because we know that what we have to say, or we feel what we have to say, would genuinely help them, we are afraid to hurt their feelings. And in fact, in many cases, we do not give that criticism even when it could really help someone, because of the fear of hurting their feelings. So if someone stepped forward and is genuinely trying to help, please know that it is probably very difficult for them to do so. So we want to just go ahead and thank them for doing so, even if ultimately we don't take that advice, or that criticism really doesn't seem valid to us, because at that point the decision is ours. We can take it or leave it. You know, people say that criticism, when given out of love, is really a gift. It's a gift that we can receive, or it is a gift that we can reject. So we can take that information, analyze it, see if there is something in it for us, and then do with it what we please. Could mean that we just throw it in the garbage, but it is important that we learn the practice of receiving criticism and critique graciously, because even if it's not the case this time, in many cases there is something very valuable that we can learn from that perspective. And I know sometimes it's difficult when the criticism is dealt in a manner that we feel is harsh. We can get very, very offended because we don't want to look imperfect. We don't want to look like we've done something wrong. And when it's given in a way that we feel is aggressive, sometimes that is harder to take. But again, if it's coming out of a place of love, it is worth our time and energy to actually receive that criticism. And something else to remember is, whether we like it or not, we will be receiving criticism throughout our lifetime. There's no way to avoid it. There's no way that we will ever be in perfect alignment with every other person's opinion or perspective. So we're going to be hearing other sides of the story and other points of view forever, and sometimes that comes in the form of criticism. So learning that skill of being able to relax and listen to the criticism without it sinking into our heart is just such a wonderful and valuable skill. So I truly hope this video was helpful to you today, and if it was, please like it, share it with someone else who may need to hear the same message today, and also definitely become a subscriber if you aren't one already. We want you to stay connected, and I thank you so much for spending time with me today. Have an absolutely amazing day.